Welcome back to our last opinion maker panel of 2020. No malarkey crew, Patrick, Lynn, welcome back to the show.
Glad to be here. I wore a tie just for you.
Love it. Representative Gretchen Bangert, North County, welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
John Bowman, the institution, the former legislator, several things. Congratulations on the award you won from the NAACP.
Thank you very much. It's extremely humbling, but actually it comes from Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yes.
And the lady, the Iron Lady of Jefferson County, the lady that could take 3 Democrats at one time, no problem. So I have seen you doing several things. There's a mask order in Jefferson County now that you fought off for a while. Now you're suing St. Louis County for what is the shutdown? What is the status of St. Louis County right now?
Well, sure. So first of all, I think it's important to say that in Jefferson County, what we were fighting was to make sure that the Sunshine Law was followed, not the mask ordinance.
Sure.
Jefferson County Health Department can and has enacted a mask request. They don't have any teeth to that mandate, but it's the right thing to do. People should be wearing their masks. And then right now, I'm representing, if you take off my representative hat and put on my attorney hat, I am one of the attorneys representing the Missouri Restaurant Association and 40 restaurants suing St. Louis County. And today, well, I guess we're not recording on Sunday, but today we should be hearing back from the judge about an appeal at the appellate level.
Well, Representative, currently, if John and I wanted to go have a cheeseburger or something, you couldn't do that in St. Louis County, correct?
No, at this time you cannot do that unless you could go someplace and sit outside. You could do that, but right now you cannot go inside of a restaurant, and it's unfortunate that we're in this state. It'd be great if every restaurant could provide 6 feet of space so that you were socially distanced and you could go into the restaurant and eat with people that you live with and then leave. So it is unfortunate at this time.
Yeah, I mean, that's allowed in St. Louis City and in Jefferson County, and the restaurants are able to do that, but they're unfortunately, the county executive isn't allowing that and doesn't have the ability to do that.
John and I should go to West Butler County because we can eat what we want to eat. Representative Bowman, it is an interesting thing. Tell me on the ground. I mean, the rest of the state sees this, and some of them think, oh, that's the models everybody do. Some folks, like where I'm from, think, how do you people live like that? Right. What do folks think about this? Just on the street, yeah. I've loved being friends with you because you have friends that are political, business, just regular folks. Give me what that regular guy thinks.
Yeah, there's a strong opinion in the area that I represent, especially that without health, there's no wealth. So they're prioritizing the fact that the numbers are increasing, it's spiking, and the more people who are commingling together is not exactly helping the community. Public health officials have made it clear. The mask options are definitely a need, but open gathering of large number of people have proven in Jefferson County, in St. Charles County, the numbers they're spiking. So how can we go against the opinions and the recommendations from the CDC and public health officials when the numbers speak for themselves when we have lost so many lives?
Patrick, Lynn, you've lived in Kansas City, you lived in Jeff City. Let's say you and I were at Town Grill and you was explaining to someone how Illinois has rules. I think you have to have a government permit to smile in Illinois. And they're having the same problems they're having in Missouri. Places in rural Missouri that have not bothered their citizens at all have the same problems St. Louis County's having. How do you know what you're trying is working?
I think you have to follow what science says. I think we've had a failure of leadership from D.C. to Jeff City. Our governor won't even put in place the recommendations that he is getting from the Trump White House. He doesn't even want to follow those recommendations. Look, it's hard to see. Everyone likes to go, well, Illinois has all these rules and still this, but you're talking about a state. When you look at Chicago and how dense that is, it's a lot different even from Kansas City and St. Louis. We don't have the density that Chicago has with the high rises and everything else in those big cities. So I think that's a little bit comparing apples and oranges. It's not necessarily a bad idea to have, to kind of let local communities decide what's best for them. But
you're a policy guy. What should be happening right now?
What should be happening, there should be more collaboration by region. I do think I think Kansas City, Jackson County, Kansas City, Clay County, maybe Cass County, they should be working together because it's so easy to cross the border,
sure,
do different things. I think the same thing here, St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Jefferson County, St. Louis City should be getting together, and the elected officials should be coming up with a plan that works for all of them because it is so easy to cross the river, to cross a county line. And we've had none of that, and that is a failure of Democrats and Republicans. I mean, I think one of the biggest problems we've had here in St. Louis that I've seen, I can't speak as much to Kansas City, is that there has been no collaboration between the business and the government. Like really trying to figure out what works for everyone. Yes, we don't need restaurants and bars and nightclubs filled with people side by side, but we also have to keep people in business and keep people employed so they can pay their mortgages and their rent. And so they have to, but there's been no collaboration working together.
John, I mean, I think though, if you do some order, what's the use of an order if no one follows it? You can go tell folks in Ripley County, the government says you got to do this, but what if they say no?
Well, then it becomes an issue of whether courts fall on the issue. But the fact is, these are all measures being put in place to help increase safety for all of us. I think Patrick made a very good point. There needs to be a collaboration between government and business. I am not a proponent. I'm an MBA. I want business to survive as well as anyone else, but I also want health measures to be acknowledged and adhered to. And those things are going to get us through this challenging pandemic time, and we'll come out on the other side without this continuous loss of life. I mean, it is just, the numbers are so staggering that we're getting immune to it.
It hit me when I saw Roy Temple's mom pass away. She's a legend in Stoddard County.
Yeah, I've had a family member that passed from it, 3 former co-workers. So that's when it really gets real to you, when someone you know actually
I guess,
dies.
Representative Coleman, I guess Barrister Coleman is the question. Where will this end? 2 weeks from now, by the time, I guess after Christmas, will these lawsuits work their way through and will you be able to eat in St. Louis County or not?
Well, the lawsuits are a very slow solution, and right now we have a fight between the political branches. We have the county executive purporting to be able to enact 236 pages of health orders, and the county council has said, here are the ones that we approve. I don't think that fight is going to wrap up anytime soon. And so in the meantime, we need to all take personal responsibility. We need to make sure we're doing social distancing, make sure you wear your mask. This is a real virus and we need to take it seriously. Luckily, we are seeing the rollout of the vaccine starting to take place soon. And I think that we're going to start to see this second wave start to subside in the near future.
Mr. Bangert, I mean, by token, we had Eric Schmidt earlier. You can argue with his decisions, but he won by a chunk. Sam Page won by a landslide too. I mean, I think maybe a lot of folks in the county want what he's doing, and I would assume you're going to go into session next month. There's going to be a lot of folks who want to change those laws. What do those changes look like, and how effective will the argument be? Well, they elected him.
I'm not sure how we're going to be able to affect any of the change of those laws. County Executive Page has the right to do what he needs to do in St. Louis County, but I agree that the St. Louis County Council should have say-so on what's taking place, not just one person. I mean, they need to work together, and we go back to the point that he made to where we all need to be collaborating together. At every level, at the state level, the county level, all of us need to work together with business to get through this. And we are almost at the end. We have the vaccines coming. We just need to be diligent and get through this.
Something tells me some of your colleagues think those laws should be changed. What's that going to look like?
Well, I think the first thing we have to do is we have to see what do we do when you have a county executive who won't follow the laws of the charter and the ordinances that he's bound to follow. He has a duty to defend the charter and to enact those laws, and he's reached up into state statute and pulled another law and said, oh wait, this applies to me, even when it doesn't.
If I had to guess, the Missouri House of Representatives won't say local control is the answer.
I don't think that in this case they're going to say that that's going to be happening when the local officials will not follow their own laws.
John Bowman's so old, he served with Republicans that cared about local control. Patrick, Lynn, let's talk about 2020, looking back on a year that's, I don't think anybody's going to smile on as their favorite year. Give me some group or politician that had a good 2020.
I would say the hands-down winner in Missouri is the Republican Party. I think it's
Did they win by forfeit, though?
Yeah. What's that?
They may have won by forfeit.
Yeah. I think, well, I don't know about that. I will say that we had a great candidate for governor.
Absolutely.
I think we had an exceptional candidate for governor. So I think it just shows us, we're a little, Democrats like to, we've always said when we've had this theme, if everyone would vote, we'd win every race. Well, that's obviously not true because we had, 70% turnout.
Who had a great 2020?
Well, Biden, of course, he won, and that's fantastic. Although our president, I don't know what's wrong, but he needs to realize that Biden did win, and that's great for us.
Out in force.
Yeah, so that's great for us.
You should have told Eric Schmidt that in the hallway. John Bowman had a good 2020.
I think Congressman Clyburn and Stacey Abrams had a very good year.
Absolutely. Hard to argue with that.
Yes.
Representative Coleman, who won 2020?
Well, I think Governor Mike Parson, he has had a steady hand. He came into office under unusual circumstances at best and has had a pandemic to deal with, riots to deal with, and has just done a really wonderful job. He came in saying, I care about local control as the head of the Republican Party
He's
in
the
the
last man
state,
standing.
and has really done a good job of making sure that each county can address things as they see fit.
You know, I got to say, I think when you look back on who had the political influence, that the endorsements always the gold standards, the Farm Bureau. Then you'd have Missouri Right to Life and the firefighters and folks in NRA. I think the St. Louis City and County Cops and that whole FOP organization, their endorsement has become something that will be legitimately sought after. I think every Republican is going to be beating down their door because of how successful they were this past cycle.
Absolutely. The governor was predicted to win by 5 to 7 points. He blew it out at 18.
Well, some of us predicted more than that, but I
Yeah.
guess
Fair enough.
Let's not
fair
even
enough.
get into the polling process.
give me, Representative, a prediction for next year.
I think we're going to see some changes, especially in the city of St. Louis, with the elections coming forth with the new voting process that they're going to have in the city.
mayor,
and
yeah, it'd be
many
interesting.
candidates that are there, so I think we may see, it may be an exciting race. I think it will be, with actually having a primary and a general
I've
in the
never heard of
city.
a race done like that in America, so it's going to be interesting at least to just see how it all unfolds.
Yeah. I think there's one other state that does it, and I'm not sure, but I think
Well, in
it's
Butler
going to
County, you get the most votes, and that's how
Yeah,
they decide.
yeah,
Or
well.
you duke it out in the alley. What's going to happen next year? Give me a prediction for next year.
I believe President-elect Biden's going to come into office. I think we're seeing now the vaccine's going to get rolled out, and I hope by summer we're getting back to the
Is he
new
gonna do
normal.
infrastructure? Is Joe Biden going to do an infrastructure package?
Definitely.
What's going to happen next year?
Yeah, I think we move back into a more normal space where we start loving on each other again, eliminate some of this chaos and division that we've been living through and lunacy, and get back to a normal behavior.
I like it. What's going to happen next year?
I don't think it's going to be quite as kumbaya as everybody's predicting. Everybody's saying that Biden has won in a mandate, et cetera, but there's a lot of the country that doesn't think that's true. It's still winding through the courts, so we're going to have to see what the electorate does. And in the House, there's a 5-vote majority for the Democrats. She's only got 2 extra votes. That's going
That's going to be interesting.
It's going to empower
I guess you can't have anybody in the
AOC.
cabinet pulled out of there because you need their vote.
Well, they just keep pulling people out, and it's going to empower Cori Bush. It's going to empower AOC. And I think that's going to give a lot of material for Republicans to run against in 2022.
When I look at my sign of knowledge, I do see Joe Biden becoming president next month, though, don't you?
I think that it's looking more likely than not.
It's not that our previous guest isn't a great lawyer, but I just don't see that. I don't see the courts overturning that election.
Well, there's certainly a number of challenges that are in the courts, over 50 that have been filed, and now there's attacks trying to get the electors to make those decisions, and we'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks. It's going to be exciting.
I think tomorrow the electors are going to show up in Missouri at the Capitol, and they're going to vote for Trump, and everybody else is going to vote, and Biden's going to be the president. Patrick Lynn, with a minute left, who won this last week of Missouri politics for 2020?
I'll say Patrick Mahomes. He's one of
yeah.
the sports persons of the year for Sports Illustrated, and they keep winning. I think that we're going to have another great 2021 with the Chiefs.
Who won the week?
Adam Wainwright, for sure, with the
Absolutely.
Clementi, I know I'm probably saying a wrong award that he received, and you can say it very nicely.
Roberto Clemente.
There we go,
You
with
say
that award.
Clemente, they Clemente,
Fantastic.
yeah.
So now if we can keep him signed, like you said, that
Absolutely.
would be
That's
awesome.
important. Who won the week?
Ron Richard is showing up tomorrow to vote as an elector into the beautiful Capitol. The renovations are just coming down. It looks
The
fantastic.
Capitol that he renovated.
It wouldn't
Without
have happened.
him,
It would
that
not have
Capitol could have
happened.
fallen in the river.
It was in terrible shape, and he said, no, we have to do the right thing, and he'll never get credit for it, and it's got to feel good walking in to see that work come to fruition.
I think that Ron Rich is the type that will care more than anybody else that he did it, and he'll know. Who won the week?
I think you're right. I think Jason Tatum, St. Louis
Yeah, oh,
owned,
yeah.
with that very nice lucrative contract.
He gets for economic development just moving back here. Yeah. You know, I'm going to say the mayor of Jefferson City, Gary Turgeon. She has been a terrific voice on COVID. She always has that mask on, always promotes the mask, but she asks, she doesn't order. I think she's been an example to so many people. I personally wear a mask more than I would have because of her example. Want to wish everyone in your family a Merry Christmas, and we will see you in 2021 on This Week in Missouri Politics.
This Week in Missouri Politics, sponsored by the Missouri Association of Career Fire Protection Districts, Spire, and Sterling Bank.